Hey, what's up? It's Restricted Arts. Doing another video today. This one's gonna be on. This is gonna be another portfolio review. I did one just the other day. I'm probably not gonna upload this till a few days from now though, because I just uploaded one yesterday. But yeah, so I'm doing another portfolio review. Yeah, so I'll go start now. Today I'm gonna be doing. I'll start off with one of my friends here. All right. Hmm. This is quite a big portfolio. Alright, this is a these all manipulations. At least some of these just pictures. Maybe this is what he used in this. Alright, well, it's a nice manipulation. This rain kind of texture over top, I'm not sure if that's the best, and then the motion blur on this dragon, I don't know. It's a little strong. It just comes off as a little blurry. Maybe it's just because it's not very big, but yeah, maybe just try to have a mix of some sharper lines and some not as sharp lines. Yeah. All right. This is nice. I like where the word lab. It's kind of this big blocky kind of font, and it's the change in font is nice. And this little like scribble after the pencil, like the pencil makes this nice. Maybe just have that not touch the G, and then maybe have the check be at the other end by the lab, maybe. But yeah, it's nice. Um, I'm not sure like if you made all these, like if you drew that pencil in Photoshop or anything, but yeah, it's nice. Nice colors. Another manipulation, and these are all just images he used, I assume. This is a nice stock. Yeah. Again, just a few cleaner lines. This little temple thing, maybe try to have that blend in a little better. And yeah, just working your lighting a bit. Yeah. Alright. So these are banners, I assume. So these are nice. Are kind of small though, but Behance does it. I need to fix that in my Behance. Yes, this one's nice. This top one. I usually don't like red and blue together, but it works alright here. Only thing is maybe on this looks like sweep NURBS you have. I'm not sure if that's sweep NURBS or if that's Reaper X, but maybe try to increase the segments because I seem a little increase the segment count because I seem a little like it's a straight segment and then another straight segment and another straight segment. Yeah, and then yeah, maybe just have that blend in with the background better. The second one is nice. I like the colors on it. I think the flares could maybe fit a little bit better. I'm not sure if those zigzaggy flares fit very well. But yeah, I like the color combination. The color correction is nice. The lighting on those kind of broken pieces is nice. And the glass actually fits in fairly well. Maybe just have a little more texture on the background. And maybe a vignette. This one's nice, although it seems a little flaky. I like the kind of explosion effects you have, but yeah, maybe just like the combination of those 3D kind of tubes and the kind of like flakiness of it just doesn't quite isn't is, it's just not my favorite thing. Plus, it's like a very bright text and it just fades out to pure black. Maybe try to change that a bit, working a little more contrast. This he entered into my contest, I remember, which is how I met him. And this I actually liked. I think this is 2D, and I just like it's a kind of cool kind of style. It's interesting. Yeah, I already talked about this, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. When I did the contest, I reviewed it. So yeah, and this looks like he just. I'm not sure if you rendered this, if you did a camera calibration, I think it's called, or whatever, in Cinema 4D, or if you just threw it in there after you rendered it. But it's nice. Maybe just work on your lighting and color correction a little bit. Yeah. All right. Lost at sea. All right. So I am assuming this is a manipulation. Yeah. Um, yeah, so again, if you do this with camera calibration in Cinema 4D, which is pretty much where you put the image in Cinema 4D and you render it out with that image and the text part of it, I think it usually looks better. And yeah, maybe just put some deformers on the texture too. Edit your textures a bit so that so that the text looks a little bit more rocky. Yeah, and this is an interesting camera angle, but maybe try to get closer or something, or maybe I don't know. It's hard to explain. Yeah, life underneath the sea. All right, this is nice. I like how you work the text in pretty well. Only thing is maybe try to have the text. See how this bass is coming in from like the back to the front. Maybe try to rotate and distort that text so that it mirrors that, so it looks like the text is just flat against the screen. Have rotate that so it looks like it's coming in along the top of the bass maybe. And then yeah, maybe just on the sail, maybe have that A just fit in that little slew on the worm. And yeah, I think it'll just look a little better to have those fit a little better with the body of the animals. Yeah. Alright. This is nice. Lighting's a little bit better. I'm not sure how this font style fits with this exactly. And also just how that A is like going back into the background, but if you like these letters, the letters don't seem to quite be facing the right way, if you know what I mean. Like the A, just work on maybe blending these letters in a little bit better. Maybe using a different color letter instead of black would have been better. But yeah, just try working on making your lighting and the letters match your lighting on your stocks a little bit. But yeah, this is a nice one. And then this looks like a nice Cinema 4D render. I assume you did these spheres too. And this isn't just a stock. You did a nice job of warping the flares around the spheres, but I'm not sure in this kind of style if that really fits. If the flares really fit in this kind of style. You could have left them there, but if you add to the reflections, but also just make sure you erase the end of your flares to make so that they don't go over. Also, maybe keep them black and white if you're gonna do a black and white kind of thing. Also, maybe put a fillet cap on these font pieces or something. And yeah, don't have this. You have this flare on the right hand side on the sphere in the shadow. It doesn't quite make a ton. It doesn't make a ton of sense. Well, it would if you had the illusion of like a light source behind that, but you don't really. So it doesn't make it. That doesn't quite make a ton of sense. And yeah, but pretty good. All right, so that's his portfolio. I'm gonna go to another friend of mine, Tom Carnage. Oh, he tweeted at me, didn't he? Yeah, tweet at me if you want me to. Unless you have my Skype added. Well, then still tweet at me just because I check my Twitter more often. Tom Carnage is a very good designer, so 2D banners. Alright. Why isn't this loading? It's loaded before. Let me refresh this real quick. Alright, so we started with this green one on top. I noticed some of your banners really have this kind of like nice blurry kind of effect which I really like. Something I have trouble doing really. I have trouble getting that kind of nice blurry kind of, like that radial kind of blur. I know how to use radial blur, but I have trouble kind of getting that look to look right, if you know what I mean. So you did a nice job with that. I like how the background was done really well, like I said, with that kind of blurry look, but it's not sloppy, it's not messy. And yeah, the text looks nice. The stroke around it is real nice, and the little gradient on it is nice too. So yeah, maybe just one tiny thing, which is something I'm bad at too, but maybe just try to play with your gradient a bit so that at the bottom of that Y where it gets kind of dark, just try to have that maybe not be quite so dark. Yeah, I know that's because of the gradient and the Y is lower than everything, but play with your gradient and play with the gradient a bit and change the color stops, and that should fix that. Yeah, yeah, but it's a tiny thing. And then maybe I don't think you need a vignette, although I would have to see how it looked first. Some banners you do need a vignette, although I see that you did. You, maybe not add a vignette on these, but it definitely fades out to black either way. This kind of neon one next, this neon kind of purple one. I really like this kind of look. I like the again the kind of blur and the radial blur on it. Um, One thing I would say is maybe just try to have it against something. Like right now, it's just I like how it's rotated to the side, and this is the trouble I have when I do that kind of style is that the background isn't just flat. Maybe try to have this up against when it isn't rotated, put it against something, and then rotate both of them together. I know who it was. Someone in Soar did a really nice job of that. I'm gonna see if I can find that real quick. Soar Studios. I should probably search this on YouTube. I know. I think maybe it was on maybe it was on DZ. That was Final Image. See, like I know you're going for a different kind of style. You're going for kind of a hollow thing. This is a little bit overdone now that I look at the final image. But yeah, actually, never mind. It's a bad example. I don't really like that banner. It looks better here with all that lightning and stuff. All right, yeah. So maybe just have something a little bit behind it to give it a little bit of a little something behind it. I'm not sure quite. It's hard to explain. It just seems like the banner is missing a little something, even though it's some real nice, it's real nice effect. This pink one I really like. I like the lighting on it. I think the color choice is really well. I think pink can look really really good if you do it right. Yeah, I think it looks good here. I like how you. I'm not sure if you use Liquify to get these to kind of pull the text and get it warped like this, or if you just use maybe some different kind of filter or something else. But yeah, I think it looks nice. Yeah, I just think with 3D it works better, but I think with 2D you don't always have to have your stuff going off, like getting cut off by the banner. Like here, although this isn't too bad here, but I think here it's not. It doesn't look bad. It depends how you think, but actually maybe not. It looks it does look kind of nice with it cut off like that. It's back and forth. Yeah. So not a ton I could say to really make this better. It's already a pretty nice banner. Maybe just yeah. I really like how the name is inscribed inside the logo. That was done really well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. And this last one, again, really like the radial kind of look. I'm not a big fan for copying the text and putting it behind, but it works well here. And also this lighting coming from the top. I'm not sure if that's like an ocean stock or something that you then threw in there, but that's real nice. Yeah, again, the stroke works really well in here. And yeah, I really like this one. Although I'm just wondering why at the sides of all these it kind of has like at the side of this one in particular there's kind of like gray bands. I'm not quite sure if that's just when you saved it or if you actually see that when you upload it. But yeah, but it looks nice. Maybe just have it fade slightly. Oh, it fades out to black kind of, not out to black, but it gets darker. So yeah, 3D banners. In case you didn't have time to read that, I don't know why these are loading so oddly. Alright, I'll come back to this one in a second. Black and white, this is really nice. I like how you put studios onto the Soar logo. I think that text on there works well. I think sometimes it doesn't quite work when someone tries to work text into a logo, but I think it did pretty well here. Yeah, and then just I like how you kind of have like the Soar logo stacked around it and not just. It kind of looks like it's a Soar logo sitting in a room with tons of like store logos behind it, and the camera angle you took was really nice too. So yeah, maybe just work on. I'm not sure if you did your own color correction. Maybe just working that a tiny bit. I think there could be a tiny bit more contrast, maybe just a small amount. Yeah. I like this cold one right here. It's a unique kind of style. There's a lot of detail. If not, I'm not sure if those are really detailed Admiral rays in the background or what that quite is. But yeah, I think the glass pieces work well. But most of all, I really like how you warp the text and the kind of texturing and stuff it has on it. I think that's done really well. Yeah, lighting's good. Yeah, this hide one right here is nice. Only thing is, I know I'm not a big fan of flares. Maybe just lower down your flare opacity a bit, because you can just anyone who does graphics right away can just look and say, oh, that's a flare. Like, if you don't spread them out evenly, it's just your eyes just go right to those flares and not to the other nice things you've done with this banner. Maybe just lower down the opacity of the flares a bit, or change the blending options. Maybe the color dodge, maybe something like that. I don't know, or overlay, just to make it more of a highlight and less of there's a flare there. Yeah. And this infection one, a real kind of cool, like virusy kind of look. Yeah, you did a good job of keeping it readable, but still kind of having it blur out and stuff. And these particles like have a nice look of how they actually look like they're floating, rather than just, and they have some motion to them rather than just being on top of the text like most people do. It may be just not not a ton to say with this. Really, it's nice. And this one down here, it's a nice model. Maybe just work on your. I think you did. I think you live com this one. Live com this one. Maybe just work on the. I think the stocks in the background don't fit in super well, or as well as they could. They fit in alright, but I think the lighting could be a little bit better. Like, this hide one has really nice lighting, this cold one does. So this soar one, I just think this lighting isn't quite on the same level as some of your other banners are. But I know it's kind of much closer up kind of look, but yeah. And then the big YouTubers. Alright. So, let's start from the bottom this time. Yeah, the Admiral rays are real nice. I like the kind of particles you did. I'm starting from the bottom just to make sure you guys know which one. The green one, Kaz. Or is that an R? I don't know who Kaz is really. Or I haven't been on YouTube. I don't watch a ton of COD videos anymore. But yeah, I'm not really, I'm not really sure who that is. Probably gonna get yelled in the comments for this, but yeah, it's a nice look. Maybe just add a little bit more of a vignette, have it fade out to black a little bit more. But yeah, the lighting's nice, color correction. It's so easy to say. I'm gonna stop saying that. It's so easy to say color correction could be better. Like, I always find myself going back to my banners and changing my color correction and stuff all the time. So I nitpick that a little too much, because you can always make your color correction a little bit better, and so it's something I need to work on too. But yeah, and Samus one was real nice. It's much more of an advanced kind of thing, because I think I talked to him about this. He said he used. I remember because it was funny, because I saw this man the day after I watched an intro tutorial from Ian Shudley, who's on Dare Arts. He's a motion designer, and he had an intro using the same kind of effect where, like, a logo that it's covered in stone, like, breaks, like the pieces break off and show like the logo behind it. And I think he said he used this with a plane effector. I think I asked him, and he said, yeah, he used a plane effector with a random effector on it. I think it was a plane effector with a random effector on it, and what else? A random effector, and the deformer was sent to scale with a little bit of rotation, I think. and yeah, that's how I got that effect. But it's a real nice effect, very original. The lighting's done really well, and yeah, I really like this banner. I remember I saw it when I first joined OP and it was really nice. Weagle one is nice. Only thing I would say is have it blend in a little bit with the background. The background is very blurry, which is nice, but there's not a ton to have the Weagle blend, the text blend in with that. It's a nice effect on the text, nice texturing, but maybe have it blend in a little bit better. That's the only thing I would say. Then the Spirocreds one is really nice. I'm not. This looks like 2D, and if it is, it's a really nice 2D banner. I really like how the letters are pulled, like the S and the D, the S at the end and the D. It's a really nice look. Um, One thing I would say is the blades. I think could have a little bit more of that kind of pulled kind of look. Although I know you're supposed to have that sharp kind of look. I think the blades could match that style a little bit more. I really like the text he put at the bottom. It's nice and clean, easy to read. But yeah, all I remember is his last banner, like the blades. His last banner had a very kind of like soft beveled kind of look, and the blades matched that look. And I just think the blades here could match that a little bit better. Maybe don't even like have them distorted. Maybe just have a little bit of like of that reds like dripping off them, like you do have like you have in the letters. Have it kind of look like blood. I think that would be a nice thing to do. But yeah, it's just my opinion. To be honest, I have no idea how you did that style. I'm still working on improving my 2D. So yeah, I need to get better at that kind of that dripping kind of look is something I really like. And I need to try to figure out how people do that. But yeah, I still try to keep this one short, and it's even longer than the last one. But yeah, that's it. Sorry it took so long, but yeah, some really nice banners some really nice work this week. Let me know what you thought and tweet at me if you want me to review your portfolio. Yeah, that's it. See ya.